Hey Glocktonians, thanks for joining me. Today I got a special treat for you. This one comes out of my personal collection. To give you guys a hint on what this firearm might be, it rhymes with block and also feels like one in your hand. Yep, you guessed it. It's a Glock. But we're not talking about Gen 3 or Gen 4, Gen 5, not even a Gen 2. We got a Glock Gen 1. Stay tuned. Glock 17 Gen 1, stamped on the slide, is MPDC. This was a Washington, D.C. Metro Police firearm at one time. I believe this one was imported around 1987, if I'm not mistaken. Got it on Gunbroker a few years ago. It's obviously clear. Always make sure the firearm is safe and clear. So now that we've done that, we can dive into this little baby here. Probably one of my favorite guns. I actually tried to sell it. My one buddy, he loved the gun. I was like, you know, I just kind of bought it. I thought it was kind of cool. Wasn't near my favorite gun at the time, but man, my mind has changed over the years. I just love the older guns, period. New guns, they just don't do anything for me anymore. I think we eventually all get that way, maybe. I don't know. Some of you don't, maybe. As far as collectability, I seen one on Gunbroker go for over $6,000. Did not come with a manual though. It came with two 18-round magazines, which you can see says restricted law enforcement. It's got the pencil barrel, got the thinner barrel. Like the first couple years, this was pretty rare, the pencil barrel. This one came with, looks like factory Trigicon night sights, but they are dim. And let's face it, I mean, there's not too many Gen 1s out there, and there definitely ain't a whole lot of Gen 1s out there with a police marking. I mean, this thing is in the NRA Museum, the exact same one. So check that out. That's pretty cool. My buddy actually had the book, showed me a picture of it in the NRA Museum book, which is cool. I think it was NRA, some kind of museum or library. I'm glad I didn't sell it. It's one of my favorite guns now. The ergonomics, it just feels so much better in the hand compared to like the other generations. This was the original no finger grooves before the Gen 5 came out. And I mean, just the wear, I mean, this has been in someone's hand, you know, I don't know how many times, you know, it's just got that, it just doesn't feel like a Glock, you know, a typical Glock. I mean, yeah, it doesn't feel like a CZ75, don't get me wrong, fellas and ladies, but it doesn't feel like a new Glock. I feel like it feels a little more comfortable. And the trigger on this thing, I mean, for a striker fire and a Glock trigger, you guys know those Glock triggers, they ain't good, they ain't great, they ain't terrible, but they ain't great. This thing, I don't even know how to describe it. Very smooth take up, hit your wall, very little over travel. Reset, very audible and tactile. My impression on this firearm has changed over the years I've owned it, going from one I didn't really think about keeping a hold of, honestly, to now possibly being highly collectible. I mean, like the title says in this show or this video, I saw these things. These things are going for well over $1,200, and I even saw one go for $6,000, which is crazy for a Glock, right? But I mean, the truth of it is they ain't making any more Gen 1s, guys, and they're just getting harder to find. For you guys wondering what I paid for it, I paid right around $600 is what I paid for this. More than I actually wanted to pay. I was actually trying to get it for like $500. I think that's where it started, but got a little bit of a bidding war. And at first I was like, oh man, I paid way too much for this thing. $600 for a Glock, used. But then, you know, after seeing the value go up over the last couple years on these things and the collectability has really changed my mind, and I'm definitely going to hold on to this one. This is going to be one that I hold on to. It's a fun shooter too, man. Very comfortable, great trigger, and again, I'm just a sucker for the old stuff. So, and let me know what you guys see them going for. That's just a few I saw in recent months. I was a little surprised. Maybe not all of them are going for that. I don't know. I haven't got on there in a few months, but I think they are going to be even more highly collectible as time goes on. There's going to be more scarce, especially. I don't see too many that are police trade-in or police issued factory night sights with the Tupperware. You know, I got the Tupperware, the restricted LE government only mags. I mean, the one for 6,000 didn't even have that. So who knows? I don't. Sky's the limit. And coming up, you'll see the shootability of this pistol. I mean, you can throw this in really a newbie's hand, and they could probably do good work with it. My girlfriend, I put it in her hand. She had no problem hitting targets with this thing. She, you know, I feel like it's a little. You got smaller hands, is a little more smaller of a grip than like the new Glocks, especially the Gen 3s and Gen 4s. I've never actually picked up a Gen 5, so I can't say anything on the Gen 5. But this thing, real nice. Let's see what this baby can do on the range, shall we? Hey guys, just loading up some magazines. Made it down to the range. Looked like it was gonna rain, but I think it's gonna blow over. Kind of got windy, but yeah, just loading a few mags. We're gonna see how this puppy does on the range here. Whew. Got some 115 ball rounds. We're gonna see how this baby performs for you guys. I'll be shooting at some shooting C targets, and also I've got some steel targets down here I'll be shooting at. You guys will see. I'm only gonna shoot about 15 yards a day, probably max. Just got one more magazine to load, and then we'll go hot. All right, guys. Got the Gen 1 out here. Got 115 ball. Let's see what she does, all right? Oops, stovepipe. Got a stovepipe, guys. See that? Gonna drop the magazine. Looks like one round left. Oh, we got a round in the chamber. It was a failure to extract, so let's try it again. Got 2 rounds. Woo! That's the Glock 17 Gen 1 Police Trade-In. Now hit that like button and subscribe button to tune in and catch all my new videos. Also, I just got some new merch put together. I'll put a link down there. You'll be able to buy t-shirts, mugs, sweatshirts, whatever, just to help support the channel, man, so I can get some better videos coming your way. All right, Glock Meat out.